welcome to When You're Smiling with me, Owen Palmer-Atkin. On this episode, we will review the defeat to Birmingham City over the weekend as the Foxes lost at St Andrews for the first time since 2011. You'll hear from Oliver Skibb and Andy King following that game, and we'll look ahead to the next test for the Foxes in their Championship survival fight as they welcome Southampton on Tuesday evening to King Power Stadium. With me to do all of that, former Foxes winger and our voice from the stands, Paul Sherwood. And it was another defeat for Leicester over the weekend, and this is how the Championship table lines up as things stand. Currently, bottom, as ever, and it has been for most of this season, is Sheffield Wednesday. They're currently on -7. Oxford United played 31, 28 points. Blackburn played 31, 32 points. And Leicester played 31, 32 points. The Foxes on a -6 goal difference. Blackburn Rovers on a -13, and sitting just above Leicester, West Bromwich Albion, again 31 games played and 33 points on the board. And yet again, Pipes, just not good enough for Leicester City on Saturday.
No, far from it. Another disappointing weekend. You got a feel for Andy King in a way. I mean, another red card, a mistake from one of your most highly decorated players. It was a shocker as well from Ricardo. You don't normally see that from him. And then it was just an uphill battle. I think he said that, didn't he, in his comments after the game? It's just another uphill battle that the team have got to try and work against. Not an ideal start, and then got back into the game and then just fell away again. I mean, I've said it so many times this season, and I do stand by it. I don't like sort of putting the accusation towards the group of players that we've got, but you cannot trust them. You just can't trust them.
Yeah, my next question was going to be, how much do you feel for Andy King in this situation? Because the second red card in 7 days, conceding after 3 minutes, mistakes all over the pitch, as you just alluded to. Again, it just wasn't a good day, and it comes back to that trust.
It does. I mean, there's players in there that you would, over the years, that are really experienced, and over the years, you would say that you've trusted them. But I just think at the minute, the group, I've talked about it before, the consciousness of the group is just so low at the minute. There's so many negatives coming out. Some of the mistakes are unheard of. And we've not seen the likes of before. And that's what happens when you're in scrap. And you do need those type of individuals with the type of personalities that roll their sleeves up and meet adversity, when it comes, and they're just not doing that in the minute.
Paul, how do you look back over Saturday?
Well, I mean, Pipe says he doesn't want to point the finger at the players, but I will. They're gutless, spineless wasters. That's what they are. We know that once the red card comes, the game's over. The fans might as well pack up and go, because there's no way we're going to do anything other than lose that game. There's a lot of teams out there who will fight when they get a red card, but our team just roll over. So Andy King, I do feel sorry for him, because he's had 2 games where they're a complete waste of time, and everyone could just go as soon as that red card comes on.
Yeah, this has been part of the accusation that's been put at the players, put at the football club for a long time, really. It comes down to effort, desire, and this is something that we spoke about with Pipes a couple of weeks ago, that actually it feels quite a cheap thing to throw in modern day football. Every single fan seems to think it about their football club, but only for a small period of time, because then eventually, results turn, etc. But that's the difference with this football club at the moment, is that this is something that's being levelled at this squad week in, week out.
Yeah, we had it all through the Van Nistelrooy time for a long time. But I just think that, with the fans, all we want to see is effort. And when you're watching it on telly and the stats come up that they're the least for running, the least for chasing, it just goes to back up that they're not making any effort, are they? Whatever they say, and they come on social media every Monday and say, oh, we'll be stronger, we'll be better. It's worthless words. At the end of the day, we want to see them running. We want to see them making the effort. And not one fan in there will criticise them for making the effort. I mean, Patson Daka is absolutely useless, but he still gets applause and he still gets cheered because he runs and he does make an effort. And, if everybody did that, the fans would be a lot happier.
Pipes, where are you on that?
Well, first of all, I'm not in the studio tonight, am I? But I didn't say I'm not pointing fingers at the players, Paul. I'm definitely pointing fingers at the players I have done for most of the season, and it's just not there at the minute. And we would feel sorry for Andy King, and I think we all do, because I know him personally as well. But the way that he's come across since he's been the manager, and the things that he said, and the honesty that he's brought to the position, has been really powerful. And you're expecting a bounce and a reaction from the players in the way that he's addressed the media and he's addressed all the fans, but clearly he's going to bring that to the players as well. And they have let him down in the 2 games that he's been in charge. And it's not good enough. And the worst thing is, I don't know how it changes. I really don't. And that's why for a few weeks now, it's not just me, a lot of the fans are saying it, that we're really worried now about going down into League One, because it seems a real possibility.
Well, Andy King spoke in his pre-match press conference ahead of the game on Saturday, and he brought up on his own accord standards. And he's not been the first manager to do that. Marty Cifuentes talked about it, Ruud van Nistelrooy talked about it, Steve Cooper talked about it, Enzo Maresca talked about it, Brendan Rodgers. You've got to go all the way back to essentially when Seagrave opened. This is when the managers started talking about standards and how important they were, and how they were trying to kind of raise the standards at the football club. But for Andy King to kind of bring that up, and when I probed a little further, I said to him, I'm not expecting you to reveal industry secrets here or the exact things that you're trying to do, but just give us a sense of like an overall feeling. And he talked about the running stats and the care and what it means, because he knows probably more than anyone, what it means to wear a Leicester City shirt, because of the length of time he spent at the club, the amount of games he played, the amount of important goals that he scored, the trophies that he lifted. And when you have a